Hi, and welcome to my channel, Peace Born from Chaos. Today I'm going to go full circle and return you to the reason I first established this channel. 34 years ago, I met Jesus in person at a major turning point in my life. This was not a near-death experience. I met Jesus, the man himself, in the flesh, walking the world as an ordinary man, though I must say my impression of him was far beyond ordinary. Even so, I did not come to recognize this man who had befriended me as Jesus until decades later. And in February of this year, Jesus asked me to announce his return to the world via this YouTube channel. I had no aspirations of creating a YouTube channel, but I followed his instruction. At first, honestly, I did so as a lark, because I wasn't entirely sure of his intent. Like, is Jesus testing me? Or is this for real? As such, I made a minimal investment and created 2 text-only videos. Soon after, I purchased a microphone, and I found inspiration for my own topics, which led to 3 more videos, all of which I encourage you to explore. In doing so, I finally found the answer to a prayer I had made over 36 years ago now, a prayer in which I implored God to show me what he would have me do with my life. God provided me with a clear vision of what he wanted from me soon after, but it has been a long journey to the destiny God laid before me. Now, for the first time in my life, I finally feel empowered to speak freely. And now that I have found my footing, Jesus has asked me to once again announce his return using my microphone and my voice. There is so much that Jesus wanted to teach but could not 2,000 years ago, simply because humankind was not ready to receive all that he had to share. God created us to be like him. God can only create from what he is, spirit. God is not limited by a body, and God cannot die. And God gave us everything he is in our creation as spirit. He also gave us free will. God did not place a limit on our ability to create, but he has placed a limit on our ability to miscreate. All that God is and everything that comes from God is love. The world, filled with chaos and destruction, was born of an idea contrary to all that God is in truth. The only reason for placing a limit on our ability to miscreate is to save us from needless pain. God sent Jesus into the world as a shining example of all God is in truth. Jesus serves as a reminder for us of all that we have forgotten. Why am I telling you this? What does this mean to us? The world has finally reached a state where the divisiveness of the darkness is apparent. Until this point in time, we believed in a system of darkness that sought to keep us imprisoned, to have us believe that there are those who are entitled, and then there are the rest of us. Right now, chaos rules the world. But this is about to change, because we are now coming to the realization that the rules set forth historically, the rules made to imprison us, do not work. Though things seem bleak, this is actually a turning point and a joyous time of great opportunity, new beginnings, and rebirth. For the time has come for humankind to learn of the power of God lying dormant within, and to use this power to free ourselves from the darkness that seeks to bind us from without. Jesus was not a Messiah in the sense that he came to lead us out of darkness because of some special traits only he carries. Instead, Jesus came to lead us out of the darkness by demonstrating the power of God that lies within each and every one of us. Jesus knew that the Israelites in 4 BC weren't ready yet to take up his sword. So at that point in our history, Jesus came to teach the way, to prepare a foundation for what was to come. He taught his followers, as well as countless others that have come after him, to turn the other cheek, to do unto others as you would have them do to you, and to love thy neighbor as thyself. Jesus' teachings center on kindness, compassion, understanding, and forgiveness. Jesus laid the foundation from which the world could proceed. Jesus laid the foundation to learn from him that each and every one of us possesses, buried deep within our psyche, the same power that he demonstrated 2,000 years ago. And now the time of Jesus' return is upon us. To find peace, prosperity, safety, and truth, we must learn to look within, into our hearts for Jesus' wisdom and grace, because Jesus speaks to us always. We have forgotten the truth simply because forces outside of us seem to be so powerful. Yet their power comes solely by our subservience to it. We can break free from these chains that have sought to bind us into a world where scarcity, lack, and deprivation rule. We can break free from the bondage of forces outside us that do not have our best interests at heart. These external forces seem heavy and demanding because they seem to be the only way in which we can escape the cycle of poverty. But this is a lie. Just like Jesus, we too will learn how to perform miracles. Seek to find truth within. Jesus has assembled an army of angels to assist each and every one of you in your awakening to the remembrance of your true nature. You will not be alone in your desire to reconnect with the source who created you. Fear separates us. It separates us from one another, and most importantly, it severs our connection to the eternal spirit within. Denial of fear unites us with God's grace. Ease your grip on fear by opening your heart to the possibility that God is real and that he is loving. For in this, we cross a threshold into a land of safety, whereby the forces outside of us are rendered powerless. God never wanted for his creations to experience heartbreak, pain, poverty, or loss. God's wish for us is joy, peace, safety, freedom, and abundance. I offer instruction on how to relinquish your fear in my video, Are You Happy? These tips continue in my remaining videos. Vision for a New World gives a glimpse of the world Jesus came to build with us. Please set aside time to listen. I promise if you find what I say insightful, it will be helpful to you. These videos are a very good starting point. More will be added as the need arises. Yes, Jesus is returning to the world, and soon. Prepare for his return by learning to listen to your heart. I promise you will be glad that you did. With gratitude and love, from my heart to yours, may peace be with you and keep you safe, no matter where you hail from or what your circumstances are. Thank you, and God bless.